Okay, so I decided to make a new file for Planet Crafter and that, and thought take you on for the ride in that. Since I've played this game before, I'm going to set it to hardcore and see what happens with planet terraforming on Prime first and then travel to the other planets. So I hope all of you guys enjoy it as much as I do, especially the headaches that come with it.
Emergency. Correct your trajectory. Imminent impact. Imminent impact.
So, of course, the obvious thing. Complete freak out because you're on a planet by yourself that's trying to fucking kill you all the time. Welcome to your assigned planet. Your mission is to advance the terraformation process of this world. You'll need to generate O2, heat, and pressure. First reach 175,000 Ti and create a blue atmosphere. So pretty much it's just gathering the essentials in that and building a backpack, an O2 sensor, an O2 tank, and just trying to survive and not die of hunger or dehydration. Because at first, iron is going to be your best friend, among other things. So at first, it's just gathering the materials and increasing your oxygen. And then your backpack just for inventory capacity. And what's good is the drop pod in that is oxygenated, so the minute you walk in, your oxygen gets restored. So I have the backpack. Now I'm getting the materials to build the O2 tank. And then I will build the construction chips so I can start doing that process. And honestly, right now, because you're in survival mode, you're not self-sustained in that, there's a ton of back and forth. And also, you really can't travel that far without dropping dead, so. Lots and lots of fun there. And for right now, I'm just going to gather a few more materials just to finish up some of the basic builds that I will need. And since I played this game before and that, I kind of know what to do in that, especially for the beginning stages, which is kind of scary at first, but you get used to being on this barren planet. So, no big deal. And also there's shifting weather that sometimes you have to be careful because there can be meteor showers, just like I heard. And yes, the meteors can hit you, which they have done in the past, which pretty much sucks. Especially since I'm on hardcore mode, so if I die, whatever in my inventory, I lose it permanently. So since I know kind of where the meteors are going to strike down, I don't really have to worry too much. And also this little valley that I'm in, I kind of want to get out of it real quick. Because when this planet starts to terraform and that, yeah, this little valley is not going to be very useful. So now my next step is just to build a small little compartment so I have somewhere else to restore my oxygen and also eventually use it for storage. Especially since my O2 is low. Ah, that's much better. And now it's just gathering a lot of titanium and iron in that to build these compartments and expand on what's probably going to be my main base in that. And I'm also just gathering just a little bit more raw materials in that, just so I can start building the drills, wind turbines, and everything else to get the terraforming going on here. And also you'll see some blue chests around. There's one in the drop pod in that has some temporary supplies, like seeds, food, water, and also some oxygen bottles in that, which do come in handy. Even though you can make them with 2 cobalt also. But right now it's more of just trying to survive in that, because you really need to terraform in that to the stuff you need for self-sufficiency. So now I will get started building the wind turbines, T1 drills, and get this terraforming going in that. And I just have to watch my power levels in that. So I have to be extra careful how many T1 drills I make. And also, while I'm in the middle of thinking about that, I have to watch out with my oxygen levels because I don't want to drop dead. That's going to be a running joke in this for quite a while. So, for beginning stages of the game, it's pretty much just going to be mostly gathering materials and surviving. There won't be too much exploration going on. And I'm just trying to get enough to make a T2 crafting station, which will be very essential to some of my personal upgrades, plus expanding these rooms for storage and also to put the heaters in. While I'm also keeping an eye on my oxygen levels and that. So right now I'm just pretty much figuring out that I want to build a T2 crafting station first, and then I need some iridium for the heaters. And I'm trying not to jump around too much with like the first steps quest lines on the top, but I just can't help myself. So now I can craft water bottles and oxygen bottles, which will greatly help me, especially when I want to travel certain distances and that. But yeah, at first, this game is going to be kind of boring, and also the only reason why I am not building in this valley is because it will fill up with water eventually in the future. So, just gonna throw that one out there to you guys. And of course, time to get back. Yes, I know my oxygen level's low. You don't have to remind me. And it's okay, because I'll make it back before I suffocate. So, no big deal. So, in this game and that, you can build certain screens to see your progression. And I just want to make it kind of nice and neat. And that, with a nice little desk, so I can see how my terraforming is going between the 3 individuals and that. And the weather's getting wonky, and of course another meteor storm, so I'm just gonna stay inside, because luckily they don't destroy the structures and that. So if you don't want to play dodgeball with the meteors and that, it's a lot easier just to stay inside, but you can also look in the sky and see where their trajectory is, and yeah, you can avoid them that way too. Now, this isn't the smartest idea, but if you know where the meteors are falling in that, you don't have nothing to worry about. And now T2 oxygen tank is unlocked because of all the terraforming I am doing, which is great. Because then I can stay out longer, and it will all be good. And yeah, this might be scary to some people, but yeah, I'm kind of a thrill seeker. So it doesn't really matter too much to me. Okay, and now T2 oxygen tank is made, and also T1 exoskeleton I'm going to get materials for. So it's back to just picking up random materials and that. Everything right now is pretty much important, especially iron and titanium, but later on there's going to be more materials out there and more headaches, so. But in the meantime and that, it's nice that I have a T2 oxygen tank, so I don't have to worry too much, and I can be out further. And of course, everything needs fucking power, so gotta go and put another wind turbine down and get the power going again. After the, making the crafting screen. Alright. And I'll just collect a little bit more for the other items that I need to make. And one of the good things about Planet Crafter is the beginning stages. There is plenty of raw materials, so you don't have to pick and choose what to make and what not to make. And let me get this veggie tube in and put the lermus seed just to get the oxygen going in that. So now pretty much I have pressure, a little bit of heat, and O2 generating for the terraformation index. And I'm just going to expand my base a little bit, get a few more things to make the last screen that I need. And then I will worry about the T1 heaters because I need a raw material called iridium, which is easily accessed in a certain area. So here's the screen for my energy levels. This is for all my unlocks when I hit certain terraformation numbers and all that. And also individuals for O2, heat, and pressure. And later on, there's going to be more individual items than that. I won't get into all the details. But now I think I need to prepare to go into what would be the iridium cave off to my left here, where all this sand is, this dust is pouring into. I'll just build one more wind turbine so I don't have to, or a few more wind turbines so I don't have to worry too much, and build another drill just to get the terraforming going a little bit quicker. And now time to get some iridium. So pretty much those red glowing stones in that's the material I'm after. And this is essential for heaters, and also in the future engines for rockets that you're going to shoot up into the sky for various reasons also. But I'm just doing it for the heaters right now, and that's since I need some iridium in that for that. So and even though I'm running low on oxygen, I also have an oxygen tank, which I'll pop now, which is really nice to have. And since I have so much oxygen supply, I'm just going to gather some raw materials on my travel back, since I can stay out for a little longer, and I definitely want to grab as much raw materials as I can before I go inside and craft some stuff. So I'll get a few bottles of water to hydrate myself, and also I am kind of running low on food. I don't have to worry just yet, but I will. So I'll just focus on gathering some silicone for the T1 heaters, since I'm missing some. And actually it's because I use it all up, so. So, unfortunately, tier 1 heaters have to be made inside a compartment. That's why they're being built in there, and like always, I run out of power, so I have to build wind turbines and that for now. And I'll just build a second one just to give me a little bit more power in that. And I'll just have a little space food since that's short in that. There's still plenty in some random chests, so I'm not too worried yet. And even though I can craft water bottles in that, it's not being self-sufficient yet, so I do have to be a little careful for a while with how much ice I grab and how much water bottles I make from it. But on a bright note, now I'm going to make my tier 2 backpack and my exoskeleton, which will give me more slots for stuff. And also the exoskeleton is very, very handy. And so tier 2 backpack unlocked. Oh yeah, and I forgot to tell you, it unlocks at 300 Ti, so that's why. So now I got tier 2 unlocked for the backpack, and I can pretty much hold more items, which is always a plus. And the next one is going to be solar panels, which will be very, very essential to the power grid because it generates more power than wind turbines. So that's going to be the next upgrade that I get. So mainly now it's just doing the whole gathering materials and that, and building up drills and heaters just to get that terraformation index increased, so I can unlock more stuff in that, like the tier 2 items, and then eventually tier 3, tier 4. So and for first steps, all I have to do is craft a screen process, which has not unlocked yet, so unfortunately I cannot build that. But I will build a bunch of T1 drills just to increase the pressure being made for terraformation on this planet. And I know I'm getting pretty close to the max power, so let me get a few more items before I knock the power out again, because that's going to be something very, very common. And also, if you think being isolated on a planet alone that's trying to kill you and that is madness enough in that, yeah, pretty much. At least they gave you a few items in that so you won't starve to death immediately. Which is always a plus. So I'm just going to get all the resources and take them with me. And I got a little bit more room, so I'll just gather some iron. And because iron's going to be like your main item for a lot of the early stage and also part of the mid stage of this game, especially when you're doing base building. It is going to be very essential. So now, hopefully I'll just build a few more turbines and a few more drills, and hopefully I have enough power that I don't knock the power grid and that out. Oh, and another good thing in Planet Crafter and that, everything is wireless in that. So your power grid in that, you don't have to connect any wires or that to any items, and you can just build like all over the planet. Which, compared to some other games, like one that I play, like Satisfactory, where everything has to be wired together and that, It's one less headache you don't have to you don't have to worry about too much. And I'll just go into the iridium mines to gather some more iridium. Just want to make sure I got a spare oxygen bottle just in case, because I'm not fast enough yet that I could just go in and out, and also I don't have the oxygen capacity in my main tank yet to be comfortable. But anytime you're doing exploring in caves or even in the wrecked spaceships and that, you should always have at least 1 or 2 oxygen bottles on you at all times, because they will help you survive. And it's kind of funny, there's iridium in that, it looks like rubies, but hey, it is what it is, and I need it for heaters. And I'll just pop the oxygen bottle in that. Now I got more, and I can comfortably go back to my base without suffocating. And in the meantime, I will build a few more heaters. And I will definitely have to build more windmills. So... And at this point, like, just doing cave exploration, that I'm just doing it as a distraction, just so I can get that terraforming index up and unlock some new items. And these heaters will definitely increase it more. So, but mainly I'm after the T2 veggie tube and also solar panels I'm waiting patiently to unlock. So it's just gathering stuff while I'm waiting for the index to increase. And for the main part, your 5 essential materials you're going to be constantly using is iron, titanium, silicone, magnesium, and cobalt for quite a long time. That's going to be your main of 5 resources. Which is fine in that, so... Great. T1 solar panels unlocked, so now I can upgrade the energy grid. And also a little trick that some people, including myself in this game, does is when they get an upgraded version of certain things. So like the T1 solar panels, I'm going to be building a bunch of them, but I'm also going to deconstruct some of the windmills until there's nothing but solar panels left. And also the same with when the tier 2 drills unlock. Pretty much all my tier 1 drills are going to be replaced with tier 2. So just throwing that one out there to you guys. And that. So right now I'm just waiting patiently for tier 2 drills to unlock. And just build a few more heaters, get that generating so I can get the tier 2 veggie tube and that. which isn't too bad, 328 PK, and it unlocks at 500. My pressure is going very, very well, and soon I'll unlock tier 2 drills. And then tier 3 backpack will unlock, which will be more inventory for me. So and also right now, since this planet kind of looks like a desolate desert in that, it will be fun. It will be funny in that during mid-game, when you hit the mid-game, and then all this is not going to be desert anymore, and it will just gradually change, which is pretty neat in that for this sandbox game in that. So let me just pick up a few more things before I head back into the base. While the terraforming index is increasing, because I also want to gather some stuff for when the next tier, so when the tier 2 items start to unlock, I can build them right away, just like I was able to build the solar panel. And since tier 1 drills are so easy to build in that, I'll just make a few more, and I have enough for another solar panel to increase my power grid, which is always good. And yep. And just gather some more iron in that before I go back. And good, tier 2 veggie tubes are unlocked now. So they will greatly increase the oxygen in that. That's the only reason why I was focused on that for a little bit. And also, like, how much is produced from like a tier 1 to tier 2 jump in that is quite a lot. So you definitely, once you unlock like the tier 2 versions in that, you want to build them as soon as possible, followed by tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, and so on. And since I built a few solar panels, I didn't have to worry about my power too much. But yeah, just waiting for those tier 2 drills to unlock in that at 1.20. So, but so far right now, we're pretty much in survival mode and that. And just gonna gather a few more things just to prepare for the tier 2 drills that will unlock soon. And that. Especially iron, that. Can't get enough of that. You'd be surprised how low you get on iron, so. But hey, it is what it is in that. So pretty much this is what Planet Crafter is in that, and I will be doing a playthrough of this for quite a while in that. If you enjoy it, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel in that, and I hope you enjoy in that. Until next time, bye-bye.